So this is a story all about how my life got twisted upside down. Yeah, we don't use that theme tune anymore. Um, so welcome to the channel. We are reviewing the first three episodes of Bel-Air. Before we get into that, please hit that subscribe button, like, and share. And if you want, drop a comment. Drop a comment. You know, let's drop a comment. But I've watched all three episodes of the new series Reboot of Bel-Air. Now, if you're sitting there thinking that it's going to be just like the 90s, it's going to be funny, quirky, it has a bit of that, but it's not. So, if you're watching the show, forget about how the 90s show has been represented because it is nothing by that. And if you keep thinking of the 90s show, you're going to be very disappointed and you're going to miss the whole entire point of the show. Episode the whole first three episodes were very, what's the word I'm looking for? It is very eye-opening on how things are today. How things are today, it has opened up a whole world of stories. So obviously in the 90s version, you don't really see Will get into a fight, an argument. You don't see how it happens. In episode 1, you see exactly what happens in this period of time. And it is wild. Let's just say that. It is wild. It is insane. But as usual, you know, Will Smith is great at basketball. He is dominating, he is effective, and he is one of a kind. That's where the arrogance sort of comes in the first episode. So, again, if you want to watch it, jump into Discord. I have a channel with links of all the TV shows that I review on this page. So obviously there's links for Power, there is links for Naomi, Peacemaker, and Bel-Air as of this moment in time. Episodes 1 to 3, all the links are there in the Discord. So if you want to watch it, jump in there and you'll see. You'll see for yourself as well. Yeah, again, just don't think of the 90s show when you watch this TV because this is more modern, darker, and crazy. Now, I was watching. Obviously, I was watching the show with someone, and they didn't like Carlton. Now, the representation of that they've done of Carlton, I 100% agree with how they've done it. That is sort of the type of character that is in this moment in time in this world in 2020, 2022. Jesus Christ, I said 2020. In 2022, that is the type of person that Carlton would be like. It's insane. Let's just say that Will gets into fights. He meets Lisa. Let's say that he gets Lisa. Hilary isn't a sort of Hilary's not a bimbo. Hilary in this one is smart. She can cook. She knows how to speak her own mind, and she's not the type of airhead to a daughter that's asking for money all the time. She wants to go out and do things on her own. Obviously, Aunt Viv is still a history art teacher. Uncle Phil is a lawyer who is going for the district attorney of LA. So if you watch the show, you understand why these things are very important. They are seriously important going forward. But again, there are spoilers from this moment on. So if you don't want to don't want anything spoiled, I suggest jump into Discord, watch the show, and then come back and see if you agree with what I say. Now, episode 1 obviously starts off with Will underwater, sitting on a throne. We don't know what the hell's going on, and then he wakes up. He's got a basketball game. Play the game. He's a star student. Aces his tests. When he goes into playing basketball, everything just flows for Smith. Just flows for him completely. They obviously get down to the last couple seconds. It is 58. No, it is 60 to 59 or 56. 58. It's 60 to 58. That's the final score. We got 10 seconds left. Obviously, we all know what's going to happen. Smith does what he does, drains the free, and wins the game as a buzzer beater. Epic. Cut to after that. Smith and his boy, they are chilling, and they meet an old friend who was on the basketball team but got sent to GB. We don't know why, well, probably do know why. Drugs, everything, guns, and he got sent to GB, and basically challenges Smith to a game in the park that he's gonna lose regardless because he ain't as good. Now we know egos. We know how egos go. And it goes the way that we expect it to go. Smith shows up, challenges the guy to fight, but this is where things get a bit different. We have the drug deal. We have the main drug dealer, let's say the kingpin of the streets in Philly. He steps in and goes, "Nah, bro, you came to my court. Let's understand this. I'll put 2 bags up if you beat whoever I put in front of you. And if you lose, you can't work for me." Smith's like, "Okay, cool. Bet. But I want payment in 20s. I was like, okay. Okay, how is this gonna flip? In what way is this going to flip? It sounds too good to be true. Obviously, the game gets played. Smith and his boy beat do beat their former teammate. And obviously, being salty, the teammate got dropped to the floor, by the way, with a dirty crossover. Smith goes in and dunks that ball like nobody's business. Slams it in like LeBron James slamming a dunk in a slam dunk contest, which I've never seen LeBron James do, actually. Huh, interesting. But yeah. And then as being the way that he is, throws the ball, and you know what he does. It hits the drug dealer in the face. He gets pissed off, and he steps towards Will and his boy as they're celebrating the victory. Now, Smith, you'll see, has a sort of temper tantrum. He doesn't think before he reacts. So the dealer obviously touches the boy and he pushes him off. Dealer gets angry. Smith gets angry. Smith punches dealer in the face, and then his boy gets dropped to the floor, and they start kicking him, punching him, everything. Now Smith, knowing that his boy had a gun in his bag, which reminds me, you will see that his friend brings a gun for safety. Smith runs and grabs the gun, shoots it in the air. Everyone scatters. Now this is where it gets a bit stupid because Smith then pulls the gun up on the drug dealer. Yeah, we know how this goes. So then drug dealer's like, "Yo, if you're pointing it at me, you best use it because understand I'm coming for you. If you don't, I'm coming for you. You have no chance of getting away from this." 2-2s now. Police come. Smith tries to get away. He gets caught, gets arrested. They find his fingerprints on the gun. And him and the dealer are both in the jail cells. Separate jail cells, by the way. Fast forward to the daybreak. Smith gets released. Dealer is saying that Smith snitched to get out, not knowing that Uncle Phil actually pulls it turns out Uncle Phil pulls a lot of strings to get him. And the mum, instead of taking him home, driving straight to the airport, and he's shipped off to LA. Shits him off, and he goes to LA. Obviously, we meet Jazz, obviously, in the first episode as well. I like the character that they picked for Jazz, the actor they picked for Jazz. It suits, and him and Will seem to the two actors have a sort of rapport, and it does seem like they fit well together. I'm not gonna spoil everything, but let's just say that a lot happens within the first episode itself. The first episode is an hour long, so you get to enjoy that. But all I can say is that this series is going to be good. Just forget about the 90s episode, the 90s show, because it is far from it. Geoffrey is more of a... Geoffrey is actually kind of a G. I'm not gonna lie. Geoffrey is a G. Haven't seen... Yep, you don't see much of him. He understands everything. He does work for the family. But it's sort of different at the same time. It is definitely... It's definitely a different way that the character is portrayed and seen. And then you meet Ashley, you meet Hilary, you meet Uncle Phil, you meet Aunt Viv, and the end of the first episode, we know that Will obviously calls his boy back home, and he's being hunted down by the drug dealer. Keeping low, everything like that. It's basically modern day, right? What happens if you cross someone? They're gonna be chasing after you. Will has a bounty on his head as well from the drug dealer, so he can never step back in West Philly ever. Otherwise, it's over for him. And he's just trying to keep a low profile. But this is where it gets interesting. So Will and Carlton. Turns out Carlton is pretty much... This version of Carlton is a dickhead. Let's just put it like that. He is a dickhead. He doesn't like to be... He's very territorial. Let's be honest. He is super, super territorial. It is kind of crazy. It's interesting to see. Very different. It's very different to see him so just... He's fixated. Like, anything that Will does, he doesn't care. He doesn't like it. So obviously takes Will to school, and Carlton is obviously... They still keep the aspects of him being the king of the school. When before Will comes there, everyone listens to him, everything like that. So those aspects are still there. He has his group set of friends, but they've made this Carlton athletic as well. He's the captain he plays lacrosse, star player. He is a part of the debate team. He's well influenced in the school. So there is so many things that change. Episode 1 ends with Phil and Uncle Phil and Will having a little heart-to-heart. So it's not like we're just going to be sitting there thinking, oh, this is that. No, they have a straight up to heart-to-heart at the end of the first episode. But obviously Will tries to escape, right? Tries to run away to get back to West Philly to help his boy out. But that's just not going to happen. But there is also something that happens in the episode where Aunt Viv and Uncle Phil are talking. And Uncle Phil's like, I do not need this. We are running for district attorney. He's running for district attorney. And he's like, this is going to mess things up. He needs to, adapt. He needs to be able to grow in. Like, I pulled a lot of strings to do. Why are we helping him? And then Aunt Viv says, we owe him. What the fuck do you lot owe? What happened? Because they do mention his dad. They do mention that, Uncle Phil mentions that he was yearning. He felt so much for Will when his dad, and then that's it. They stop. They don't say what happened to his dad. They just left it at that. So that's a storyline that's gonna come later on down the line. Storyline of what Uncle Phil did for Will. What strings did he pull? What lines did he cross to do it? There's so many things in this episode. And this is the first episode that happens, and it is kind of confusing, and you don't know, we're sitting there wondering what is going to happen. Episode 2, I'm not going to give you everything. Let's remember that. I'm not giving you everything, but I'm just giving you the ins and outs, because it's a very interesting episode. Definitely episode 1 was interesting. Episode 2 opened the door for a lot. So, bear in mind, I did miss out a couple bits, to be fair. Let's just remember, Will and Carlton get into a fight. Will and Carlton get into a fight because Carlton decided to push Will into the pool at a party. And then obviously Will basically knocks him the hell out, beats him up. And the fight is recorded, obviously. And the parents see it. So, yeah. let's jump to episode 2. Now, episode 2, Will is finally introduced to the school. He feels outcasted. He doesn't feel like he belongs. It's different. And his only friend is Carlton's ex, Lisa. Lisa and Will and Lisa obviously get close in the first episode, hence the reason why Will gets pushed into the pool. Again, I'm trying to not give you everything, but I did mention spoilers, so yeah, it's on your own situation there. He Will feels like the outcast. He doesn't know anything about the school. He will. Carlton basically degrades him in front of the whole year, his whole year, as well. So it's not as easy. It's not as easy for Will when it comes down to knowing what to do or where to go or how things happen. So it's very difficult, I would say. But we do see the dynamic of how popular Carlton is. Everyone believes everything that Carlton says, and no one actually wants to listen to anything else. That's the troubling thing. Now we do see the differences on how this episode go. Well, yeah, I'm rambling now. I'm not gonna lie, so I'm gonna stop right there. All right, so episode 2, Will, as I said, Will gets to the school and feels out of place. He doesn't, just doesn't believe that he belongs there. Let's just say, look, I'm gonna be honest. This has definitely shown you how this show goes, how modern day is. When you take someone from a world that they are not used to and putting them into something different, you look at the differences on how people act, how people treat you, how people make you feel, family included. Family can make you feel like shit. That's the truth. Um, Carlton and his boy Connor, who will in the previous episode knocked out with a punch, basically go around and have basically given Will a sort of baddish name, um, and get a restraining order on Will, so Will can't be within 10 feet of Connor and 50 feet anywhere else, which can cause a bit of problem because you're in school. If you're in the same class, there you go, you're in trouble. Like, there's not much you can do. And this is all down to Carlton as well being jealous because Will was talking to his ex. There we go. Will obviously wants to try out for the basketball team, but the issue with that, the cat though, he is an all-star. He is a recruit. Everyone knows who he is. The coach knows who he is. But the coach is like, look, you want to be on the team? You have a tryout. Simple as. You try out. If you play the way that we want to see you to play, if you are who you say you are, then you're able to try out and earn a spot on the team just like that. But the issue with Will is every time he plays basketball now, he is just getting flashbacks of what happened in the park. The gun, the fight, the police being arrested, everything is just flashing back and he can't get himself back to the rhythm. But this is where you see that little uncle to nephew type of situation where Will is trying to make shots in at home, can't do it. Uncle Phil obviously helps him somehow bypass that and gets back to his rhythm of playing. And it's nice to see. We see it when we see it in the 90s show. Obviously, it's a lot of episodes in, but we see the situation. And Carlton, as you can tell, does not like it for some whatever reason. Carlton cannot stand Will. It's like he feels like he's being pushed out of the family, and Will is sort of taking that spot. Carlton has a lot of issues. That too. We see that Carlton has a lot of issues, and you will see it when you watch the episodes for yourselves. I'm not gonna break that down for you lot. because trust me, it's a lot. Um, goes we go to the tryouts. Will gets in, and he does what he has to do. Coach stop practice, and basically tells him you're on the team. Gives him a jersey. Will goes back to the training facility. Carlton's obviously in the ice tub. He's like, "What are you doing here? How did you con your way into here?" He goes, "Well, I'm on the basketball team now." Gets into the thing. Will basically says, "Check it. I'm taking over this school now. I will be taking over this school. Don't worry about that. I will keep the place warm for you." Cotton not liking this at all. You can tell he doesn't like it. Walks out. Will is on his way out, and guess what happens? Campus security stops him. No one, everyone's like, well, new kid getting stopped by campus police again. Checks his bag, and we find drugs in Will's bag. Obviously, the episode ends there. The coach, bear in mind, the coach did say, we don't need drama. The drama that you bring, we don't need it. So, keep yourself on a level headed and we can get things going. Turns out that Connor is the one that puts the drugs in his bag and everything like that. So, that's the end of episode 2. Episode 3. Now, if you remember the iconic episode in episode 3, is when Will plays in his first ever game against Malibu. That's what happens here. And the car, so much madness that happens. So many things, but I think I will leave that for you lot. Now we move on to episode 3. We go to Uncle Phil's Alamata. Sorority. No, not sorority. Frat. And obviously, you see the tension in there. It seems like Uncle Phil hasn't been there as much. He doesn't keep in contact with everyone, and you can see the hostility in the person that Uncle Phil is trying to get support from, because he doesn't really have much of the black voters in LA. Now they go to the frat. Let's say shindig. Well, shindig. Jesus Christ, what am I? What the hell am I? Goes to the frat party sort of gathering, and you're hearing all these stories about Uncle Phil. Yamacraw, North Carolina. That's where he's from, by the way. And we break. They everyone party. Everyone breaks down. Carlton has his reasons for being there, trying to get an internship. Will just goes there because he's new. He needs to learn how things are working. He needs to get to know his uncle, get to know his cousin, and everything like that. So a lot of things are working on around the show. Now, obviously, Uncle Phil tries to speak to the pastor who runs the biggest church in LA, and he's basically like, "Look," when he finally gets to speak to him, he's like, "Look, you don't come around here. There's been troubles around. We don't see you. When a former brother was hurt, addicted to drugs, we got him into rehab. We made sure that he doesn't relapse. You were nowhere to be seen. What's going on? Why don't you ever show up?" And with that, he's basically saying, "Look, I'm not going to endorse you. The only reason why you're here is because you want to get endorsed, because you do not have our votes." Obviously, Will helping out, push things around. He sees this and he's like, in his head, he's just like, damn. And Uncle Phil says, "Will, go get Carlton. We're leaving." But Will, being Will, decides to take matters into his own hands and jumps up on stage. He jumps up on stage and he is basically doing Will. He's doing Will. Embarrassing his uncle, embarrassing his cousin, and everyone's just like, "Yo, get him off the stage. What is he doing? Like, get him off the stage. Otherwise, we go and drag him off." Like, damn, I was like, damn, that's a bit aggressive. It's a bit aggressive. He ain't doing nothing wrong. He actually isn't doing anything wrong. But then Uncle Phil gets up and he's like, "What, is this how you step?" Does a couple steps and it just looks stupid. He's like, "No." So he's like, "Well, show me then." show me how to do it. And this is where I ain't gonna, I love stepping. I love watching stepping competition because stepping is amazing, especially when you get it in a group. It is nuts. It's basically like the haka. Shouldn't do that. Yeah. Basically it does that, and everyone's like, he's still there, and even Uncle Phil feels like, you know what? Yeah, I missed out on a lot. I missed a lot. I should have been. This should have been the key. This should have been happening every single time, and you can tell everyone's loving it, and you can see Carlton's annoyed. Carlton just cannot stand Will. It's as if Carlton's doing things for himself, but Will does things for everyone else, trying to make everyone else happy. Now we scale back to now in episode 2 we scale back to the house because there's a lot of going on between Hilary and Aunt Viv. That I'm not gonna spoil, but because that is very interesting, and there's a tension between the mother and daughter. You will see it. You understand why there's tension later on. Um, it's just insane. But obviously, because Carlton and Will both have their games that night, Will's first ever game, Carlton's probably like 60th, 80th game that they've gone to watch. And lacrosse, I'm not gonna lie, lacrosse does not get the following that it like that high school basketball would get. So everyone goes to the game. Will and everyone, well, before we get to the game, everyone comes back to the house, and you can see that Uncle Phil is more relaxed. He isn't so wound up, tight up, just he's more relaxed. He's fast paced going forward. And obviously, Carlton walks in behind him and Will and just looks annoyed, pissed. He's like, cool, I'm going to go get ready for my game, because I do have a game tonight. And walks up the stairs, and Will obviously goes upstairs as well to get his stuff because it's his first ever game at Bel-Air. Now, if you've seen the 90s show, you will remember this part. Will doesn't start the game first. He doesn't start the game. The team is losing to Malibu. Will comes in. Now, bear in mind, the game has started. They're probably like 6 minutes into the first quarter. And the parents did say that they're going to split time between Will's game and Carlton's game. Now, this is where you can see that Carlton really gets ticked off and pissed off. So no one shows up to no one's at his game still. So everyone's at Will's game. Will finally gets in, and the mum and Hilary are having a little heated conversation. And Uncle Phil's like, look, oh, Will's in now. So everyone turns in to watch. Will drains his first bucket. Everyone's excited. Will scores again, makes a right pass, score. Will has just changed the atmosphere of that game. And Bel-Air start to come back and they start fighting, winning. Everyone's excited. And it comes down to it now. Will gets barged. This is like, what, third quarter, I would say? Second, third quarter. And the game is going great because you can see everyone's excited. Everyone's on the court, watching, and everyone's excited. Everyone's just like, whoa, what the hell is going on here? Now, they were getting up to go back to Carlton's game. Because they didn't split the game. They genuinely had the thoughts of, okay, watch half of Will's game, and then we go watch the Carlton game. Bear in mind, them not knowing that Carlton's having a terrible game. Carlton's gotten into his head. He is not playing we've not seen him play, but he doesn't seem like he's himself. And obviously Carlton does get ejected from his game. He argues with the ref. Referee's like, get him out of here. Get him out of here. He's gone. Carlton goes back to the locker room and he's just pissed. He's annoyed. He's angry. He just fed up. And he can hear the cheering come from the gym. He can hear the chairs. He can hear everything coming from the gym. And before he does that, he does, sniff up some drugs because apparently he suffers from anxiety. And obviously, he walks into the gym, and the game is down. The game is close. The game is coming to the final seconds as it's about to end. We know, we've seen the scene already. We saw it at the beginning of episode 1. Will has the ball. 10 seconds left. The score is 60-58. We've seen this story before. And you can see it play. When Carlton walks in, you can see everyone's cheering. Everyone is excited. His parents are there. Everyone is going insane because it's down to the last 10 seconds. The clock comes down. Will comes up, passes the ball, gets the ball back. He comes out, dribbles past, gets a block from his teammate. He steps back, shoots the free. Buzzers goes off. Ball drops in the net. Bel-Air wins 61-60. And the whole gym is going insane. And you can see in Carlton's head, he's like, shit. He has cemented himself as a person in the school. I'm losing my power. Everyone's there. Lisa's there after her swim meet. His dad, his aunt, his mum, and his sister are there celebrating. You can see Uncle Phil going, "That's my nephew. That's my nephew, right?" I ain't gonna lie. It was a proud moment. I'm not gonna. Even I had shivers. I was watching it. I was like, damn. I want to be doing that one day to my kid. I want to be doing that to one of my siblings' children when they're playing sport. That's my nephew, right there. You know. But you can see Carlton's just like, damn. He feels like he's losing his power. He's losing grip of everything. And we're going to find out what happens after that because scene ends. Episode 3 finishes like that with Will up on his crowd with his arms flexing, celebrating his victory that he had just done for the school. Bel-Air is going to be amazing. They've just about hit. Oh, sorry, correction. It doesn't end there. It ends with actually the drug dealer finding out where Will Smith is. Yes, the news article comes out, and you know he finds him, and he's like, "I got you, nigga." Sorry if you're offended by that, but basically he says that I got you. I got you. Smoke spliff, blows out, scene ends. We're in for a treat. We are in for a treat. The cast that they selected for the show is amazing. The storyline, they've adapted it to modern times, and it is brilliant to watch. It is absolutely amazing to watch, and I'm excited. I hope that you're excited. I know that there's a lot that I've broken down in the last 30 minutes. But believe me, you just watch the first episode. If you don't like it, then let me know in the comments. That's simple as that. But give it the first 3 episodes. Watch all 3 episodes, and believe me, you will enjoy it. Again, I've got the links in the Discord. If you want to find it, just jump into the Discord, watch all 3 episodes, and then come back and let me know how you feel about the show. Because I'm definitely going to be reviewing it every week. First 3 episodes were splendid. It was amazing. I enjoyed it. I loved it. And you got to give it the free episode rule. You got to watch all 3 episodes to see if you really like it. But for the first 3 episodes, I'm definitely giving this about an 8 out of 10. The drama, the suspense, you can see where some storylines are going to be coming from. You can see where some storylines are going. We're in for a wonderful treat of a reboot of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in a different manner, in a more modern state. It's gonna be one wild ride, and we haven't even broken the barrier of Jazz, and Jazz obviously falling in love with Hilary, trying to start dating Hilary. We don't know how they're gonna do that story. We don't know if they're just gonna make them connect or whatever. And Ashley as well. You can see that you're gonna see the differences in how Ashley develops going forward, and what influences are they gonna will have on the family itself as well, because we do know that Will does have an effect on a lot of people. This is going to be wonderful. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. But that is it for the review and the reaction review. I hope you all enjoyed. please, again, help me out. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and even share it if you want to. Leave a comment on what you thought about the episodes. If you're enjoying it, if you wish that they didn't do a reboot, if you think that the reboot is much needed, what is your rating out of 10? What's your rating out of 10? I gave all 3 episodes 8. What do you give it? And what are you looking forward to the next episode? But again, thank you all for jumping into the episode. Well, jumping into the video. Hope you're all safe. Please subscribe, like, and share. Hit that comment, leave a comment, and I'll see you for the next video. Alright guys, I'm out. I'm Enrich. I've been your host. It's been a pleasure. Love to see you. Hate to see you go. Peace.